What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of my hip hop review. This your boy Reg in the building. The album I'm going to talk about today is Diamond D. With his first album, well, credited as Diamond and the Psychotic Neurotics to some people and stuff like that. Stunts, Blunts, and Hip Hop. This was released in 1992 on Chemistry, which was under Mercury, which was under Polygram. Singles albums known for was Best Kept Secret, Sally Got a One Track Mind, and What You Heard. Producers include Diamond D, Showbiz, Lakim Shabazz, Jazzy J, The 45 King, Large Professor, and Q-Tip. Um, Guest appearances include Badita, Fat Joe. This album was actually Fat Joe's first appearance on Wax, just to let y'all know. Larice, Wiz One, Brand Nubian, Big L, Showbiz, Michelle Sweeting, Jasmine, and that's all. Alright, so for those who don't know who Diamond D is, he is a MC slash producer slash DJ. He was born in the Bronx, New York, and stuff like that. When he was growing up, he was always influenced to becoming a DJ and stuff. And one cat that was very instrumental in his career was DJ Jazzy J. No, not DJ Jazzy Jeff of DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince fame. DJ Jazzy J, who was like an early member of the Zulu Nation and whatnot. Jazzy J pretty much taught him like the basics when it comes to DJing and turntabling and stuff like that. Um, and also Diamond D was also you know he was also like very very instrumental because he was also in the group called Ultimate Force too. If I'm Ultimate Force and stuff, which they dropped an album I want to say in 1990 or some shit like that. It's 1990. Yeah, yeah. They dropped the only album was called I'm Not Playing and stuff like that. They dropped that in 1990, and yeah, I've heard. Well, I, I'm I'm fucking the story up. Okay. Originally, it was supposed to have came out in 1990, but at that time, they were signed to this label called Strong City, and due to Strong City, being distributed under Uni Records, and they were going through like a lot of like transitioning around that time. The album got shelved for years, and only way you could have gotten it was like getting the 12-inch single "I'm Not Playing." So Traffic actually released the album in 2007 and stuff like that. So that's very very interesting and shit. So yeah, with that ended up happening, Diamond D, he was around that time, forming the D.I.T.C crew, which was digging in the crates. At that time you had Showbiz, Fat Joe, you had a Big L and whatnot, and so Lord Finesse too, who Lord Finesse, he was fresh coming from Ice-T's Rhyme Syndicate crew. Because I mentioned that a while back ago and stuff. So what ended up happening was, fast forward to the early 90s and whatnot, he was working on his debut album, and he pretty much credited Grand Puba for for helping him like rhyme too and shit like that. And so one of his breakthrough appearances was in the Tribe Called Quest track "Show Business" from the Low End Theory, classic album by the way. Y'all should know the Steve with that album and shit, so I'm not even gonna get into it. So that made more people more aware about who Diamond D was and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So between '91 and 1992 and stuff like that, he was working on this album, which ended up being this right here. First of all, very very dope title. The title is like Stunts, Blunts, and Hip Hop. Obviously, a play on the quote, sex, drugs, and rock and roll and whatnot. You know that the famous quote when describing rock and roll. There's also a song by Ian Dury too and shit like that too. Just throw that shit out there. Um, yeah, very very dope album cover. You know, just like them chilling. You know, look like they're shooting dice and stuff like that. And the song that's playing in the background is Sally Got a One Track Mind. Yeah, so nothing really to it. I got the OG copy of this album, so it was just, yeah. And you know, when he was working on this album too, he was just going through like a lot of label politics. You know, people wanted him to make the album more commercial friendly and whatnot too and stuff. So yeah, you know, this crazy thing he was going through all this. Album has 23 tracks, so let's get this shit started. Track number one is like the intro. Intro track, you know, just nothing be to it, nothing to it, just, you know, setting the whole tone of the fucking album and stuff like that. Which leads us into the next track, Best Kept Secret. Best Kept Secret, that's a track that features Bonita, Fat Joe, Larice, and Wiz One. Very, very, very dope joint right here. Pretty much what I got from Best Kept Secret. Um, just like, you know, people doubting him in the beginning, but at the end of the day, like once he starts making shit known, he's not a secret anymore. He's like a worldwide hit. And so originally this was supposed to go on the Ultimate Force album and stuff like that originally, but he saved it and stuff like that. So excuse me. So yeah, very 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 dope track, Best Kept Secret. Um, Next track is a Sally Got a One Track Mind, which is playing in the background. Very dope song. This song right here is the classic in my opinion. Um, Pretty much talks about this chick, of course, named Sally, who, of course, you know, she just falls on the wrong side of the tracks. You know, she ends up sleeping with man after man. You know, caught up with materialistic lifestyle and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Very, very, very dope track. I mean, you've heard tracks like this. You heard tracks like this before, but at the same time, with, I loved how grimy the beat was. Um, how you know Diamond was not like 100% like preachy and stuff like just telling it like it is. I love the line where he says, "I watched her go into a neighborhood hole, ran around town with every Tom, Dick, and Joe. Quite amusing, but little did she know that word got around that Sally was down. Sweet 16 when she looked 21. If the price was right, she'll be twice as nice." Like, dope usage of the Skull Snap sample and also the Tower Power sample too. So yeah, this was a very, very, very dope joint. And the video, I love the video to that shit too. Very cool. Now we're gonna get into Step to Me. Very, very, very dope track right here. Showbiz made the beat and whatnot. Showbiz, he's always known for having some of the craziest horn samples in hip hop, in my opinion. Like it's crazy and shit like that, man. Like definitely one of my favorite producers around that time. Definitely Step to Me, very very dope track. Um, then we're gonna get into like a little skit called "Shut the Fuck Up." Just you know, pretty much what I got from that, just pretty much you know, Diamond and some of his homeboys just chilling and stuff like that. You know, mimicking like a lot of R&B songs, and just talking about that shut the fuck up, just garbage and shit. Track number six leads to fuck what you heard. Very 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 dope joint right here. Very dope joint. It's pretty much like a braggadocio song right here. Very nice usage of that brand Nubian sample and shit like that because with that brand Nubian sample, he listed Sadat X as a producer, a co-producer too and shit. So, excuse me. So yeah, very very cool joint. I like it. Track number 7, I'm out of here. I'm out of here definitely. A very very one of the cinematic tracks off this album. Love those drums, like very very dark drums on that project. What I got from this joint right here is pretty much just talking about growing up in the Bronx during like the Reagan years and stuff like that. Or as y'all should know it as the Reaganomic years. When crack was very prominent and shit like that. So, um, very 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 solid joint. I love that. Diamond, he even said that it was based off a true story, but he actually threw some fiction, fiction stuff there too. So yeah, that's I'm out of here. Track number 8, A Day in the Life, featuring Lord Jamar and Sadat X. My opinion, it's probably my second favorite joint off this album. Um, Pretty much, just them talking about what they do on a daily basis and shit like that. Very very smooth, dope beat. Um, this is and according to Diamond D, this was recorded around the time when Brand Nubian were working on the song "Punks Jump Up to Get a Beat Down," which I felt that's pretty interesting. Um, I pretty much felt like Sadat X had the best verse. He definitely did his thing on this joint. Like Jamar and Diamond, they did their thing, but Sadat is just his flow around that time is so heavy, so unorthodox and shit. The line where he says, 9 times out of 10 I used to start this way, then I studied jewels and gems instead of Christianity pins. Then walked past him to see my man Marco Polo, who works in sports stuff. The two shorts that's tough, a baldy that's rough. Like, I mean, this that both verses is very ill and shit. Classic track, A Day in the Life, which leads us into last car on the 2 train. Just of course them on the train and shit like that. Just joking on one another. Track number 10, Red Light, Green Light. Very cool track. Um, just pretty much a chick song where he's talking about like a female he's seen that pretty much was trying to play him and whatnot. And he's just pretty much aware of the game that she's playing and shit, you know what I'm saying? So, pretty much a story, another dope storytelling track right there. Track number 11, I Went For Mine. My favorite track off this album. This was produced by Jazzy J and Diamond D. You guys might recognize that sample. It was used when Busta did that song New York Shit off the Big Bang album. Um, yeah, this was a very very dope track. Diamond talking about him coming up in the music industry and him hustling to get his name out there and shit like that. Um, Hooking up with Jazzy J. Again, this is like a coming of age story. I love the part where Diamond, where'd you get that beat from? Your Jazzy dug in the crate, needs another loop, so we added a flute, and then all of a sudden, they introduced a flute for the sample and shit like that. So I always love that part and shit. So that's definitely very, very, very dope song. I love that song. I Went For Mine. Next track, comments from Big L and Showbiz. Um, just pretty much Big L and Showbiz is talking about the whack MCs and shit like that. How Diamond always provides that real hip hop. Um, Next joint we got is Check One, Check Two. That was a solid joint. That was produced by the 45 King. You guys should know what I feel about 45 King. That's all I have to say. Track number 14, What You Seek. What You Seek is pretty much another very cool joint right there. I like it. Just another one of those braggadocio joints. Track number 15, Lunchroom Chatter. Just pretty much what I got from that. It's like nothing to it, just a little skit. Um, Track number 16, Confused. Um, Confused, that features Michelle Sweeting and Jasmine. This track right here was very different. It was more like an R&B, New Jack swingish kind of track where like he's talking about how he's catching up with his ex girlfriend and he's worrying about getting back with her and stuff like that. I mean, I know a lot of cats who talk about this album. They kind of dismiss this joint, talking about too polished compared to the rest of the album. But I fuck with it. I actually do like it. Kind of reminds me something that Grand Pooba would have done on Real to Real. And again, he was influenced by Pooba and shit like that too. So to me, I'll just let that song slide. Definitely a very, very interesting joint right there. Track number 11, Past That Shit. Very dope joint right here. This was a posse cut that features Fat Joe, Maestro, Fresh West, Wiz One, and Mike GQ. Yeah, this was actually Fat Joe's first appearance on Wax 2, according to Diamond D. Yeah, this is a very solid joint, definitely Diamond did his thing. I did like Wiz One's verse too and shit, so yeah, that's a very interesting joint. Track number 18, Freestyle, Yo, That's That Shit. Um, Very solid joint. This is actually Diamond D's favorite song off this album. Large Professor, he did his thing on that beat. Definitely had that main source feel to it, in my opinion. Um, yeah, very very dope joint right there. Track number 19, KISS, Keep It Simple, Stupid. Yeah, this was produced by Q-Tip and Diamond D. Q-Tip, he actually was responsible for the bass line for this joint right here. Very cool joint. Just one of those in your face songs and stuff like that. Um, Track number 20, Stunts, Blunts, and Hip Hop. Love this joint right here. This is a pretty short song. Diamond pretty thought it was a bit too happy for the album and stuff like that. Pretty much he explained what stunts versus hip hop mean. With stunts he's talking about, how niggas do the crazy shit, fronting with the girls and whatnot. And of course, the blunts, the niggas getting high off that weed. And then with the hip hop segment, he's pretty much giving shout out to like all the people that came before him, like the Treacherous Three, Fantastic Five, um, Cool Herc, and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Jazzy Five, Funky Four plus one more, and whatnot. Very dope joint. Track number 21, Rough Man Stressed Out. This has kept me rough man. Just pretty much just saying how fucked up he is and shit. Um, Track number 22, Feel the Vibe. Feel the Vibe is just basically Diamond D and Showbiz. Very solid joint right here. Just them doing their thing. And the last track off this album, A View from the Underground, just has Fat Joe, doing the outro. That's pretty much it. All in all, this is a hip hop classic in my opinion. This album right here definitely broke through like a digging in the crates crew. Um, Definitely made Diamond D in a league of his own when it came to the whole boom bap East Coast hip hop and whatnot. Um, I loved how well mixed this whole album was for '92 and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Loved how well placed the samples were in this album and stuff like that. I mean, I love like just the whole vibe of this whole fucking album is just nine bar to none in my opinion. Um, very dope and very well sequenced too. That's one thing about this album. Not a lot of people talk about how well sequenced the album was and shit. So, um, yeah. So this album definitely is a must-have in your collection for every hip hop head. Um, what about this album? When it came to this album, originally it was not released it was not released on vinyl originally. They had about a couple of copies. They had about a couple of copies that they pressed for vinyl and whatnot. You know, just for like promotional copies and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And the vinyl edition actually got reissued years later. They actually got reissued years later. And they actually reissued this album in 2018 too. So on vinyl. So if y'all can find this album, must have in your collection. This is a Diamond D, Stunts, Blunts, and Hip Hop, released in 1992. Must have in your collection. And that's all the time I have. Stay tuned for more stuff. Peace.